Ready to hit the trails this year? Whether you're tackling rocky switchbacks, muddy hills, or forest paths, the right trail running shoes can make or break your run. But with so many new releases flooding the market, how do you know which ones are actually worth your money? We've tested, researched, and ranked the top 5 trail running shoes. From the ultra-light speed demons to the rugged tanks built for any terrain. And trust us, number 1 will surprise you. I've dropped updated links with the best pricing for all 5 shoes in the description below. Coming in at number 5, we've got the Brooks Divide 5, and honestly, this shoe punches way above its weight class when you consider the price point. At around $100, this is probably the most affordable trail shoe on our list, but don't let that fool you into thinking it's cheap quality. Brooks has really nailed the sweet spot here between performance and value. The updated midsole gives you that cushioned feel that Brooks is known for, but they've beefed up the outsole with some seriously grippy rubber that'll handle most trail conditions you throw at it. What I really love about the Divide 5 is how versatile it is. You can wear these on your weekend-long runs, but they're also totally fine for your daily road miles if you want just one shoe to do everything. The upper has this nice balance of breathability and protection. It's not going to turn your feet into a sauna on hot days, but it'll also keep rocks and debris from getting in. The toe box is roomy enough for most people without feeling sloppy, and the heel lockdown is surprisingly secure for a shoe at this price point. Now let's be real. At $100, you're not getting all the bells and whistles of the more expensive options on this list. The cushioning isn't as plush as some runners might want for ultra-long distances, and the traction, while good, isn't going to match the specialized rubber compounds you'll find on pricier models. But for someone who's just getting into trail running, or if you want a reliable workhorse that won't break the bank, the Brooks Divide 5 is honestly hard to beat. It's that dependable friend who might not be the flashiest, but you know they'll always show up when you need them. At number 4, we're talking about the Hoka Speedgoat 6. And if you're someone who likes to go really far on the trails, this might just be your new best friend. Priced around $155, it's definitely more of an investment than our previous pick. But when you're talking about shoes that can handle 50K, 50-mile, or even 100-mile distances, that extra cost starts to make a lot more sense. Hoka has been refining this shoe for years now, and the 6th iteration feels like they've finally hit that perfect balance of cushioning and responsiveness. The standout feature here is obviously that Hoka cushioning. We're talking about a seriously thick midsole that feels like you're running on clouds, but somehow it doesn't feel mushy or unstable on technical terrain. They've managed to keep that trademark Hoka bounce while adding in enough firmness to give you confidence on rocky descents and uneven surfaces. The Vibram Mega Grip outsole is absolutely phenomenal. It grips like crazy on both wet and dry surfaces, and the lug pattern is designed to shed mud really well, which is clutch if you're running in variable conditions. What really sets the Speedgoat 6 apart for long distance is how it manages fatigue. Your feet are going to thank you at mile 20, mile 30, and beyond, because that cushioning just keeps on giving. The upper is also really well thought out. It's got this engineered mesh that breathes well but doesn't sacrifice durability. I've seen people put hundreds of miles on these things and they still look pretty decent. The only downside? They're definitely on the heavier side compared to some other options. And if you're more of a speed demon who prioritizes feeling fast and light, you might find them a bit clunky. But for eating up serious miles in comfort, the Speedgoat 6 at $155 is tough to argue with. Number 3 brings us to the Altra Lone Peak 9. And if you've got wider feet, or you're just tired of shoes that squeeze your toes together, this is probably going to be a game changer for you. At about $140, you're getting Altra's signature foot-shaped toe box, which is basically like giving your feet room to actually function the way they're supposed to. I can't tell you how many runners I've talked to who thought they just had weird feet until they tried Altras and realized their shoes were just too narrow the whole time. The Lone Peak has always been Altra's flagship trail shoe, and version 9 keeps all the things that made previous versions popular while fixing some of the durability issues people complained about. The zero-drop platform means your heel and forefoot are at the same height, which some people absolutely love for feeling more natural and connected to the ground. The Max Track outsole gives you solid traction without being overly aggressive. It's that perfect middle ground that works well on everything from smooth single track to moderately technical rocky terrain. What's really cool about the Lone Peak 9 is how it encourages better running form. When your toes can actually spread out and you're not heel striking as much because of the zero drop, A lot of runners find they naturally develop a more efficient stride. The cushioning is moderate, not as plush as the Hoka we just talked about, but not minimal either. It's that sweet spot where you get enough protection for long runs without losing ground feel. The durability has definitely improved with this version too, which was a common complaint with earlier models. For $140, if you've been struggling with narrow shoes, or you're curious about the zero drop thing, the Lone Peak 9 is a really solid entry point into Altra's ecosystem. Coming in at number 2, we've got the La Sportiva Bushido 3, and this shoe is absolutely built for punishment. At around $160, it's definitely at the higher end price-wise, but when you're tackling seriously technical terrain, we're talking loose rock, steep descents, gnarly roots, the kind of stuff that makes other shoes cry. This is the shoe you want on your feet. La Sportiva has this reputation for making bomb-proof mountain gear, and the Bushido 3 definitely lives up to that heritage. The thing that immediately stands out about the Bushido 3 is just how precise it feels. The fit is snug, almost race shoe snug, which gives you incredible control when you're picking your way through technical sections. The Free Chion XT outsole is honestly some of the best rubber I've ever experienced on a trail shoe. It grips on wet rock like it's got little suction cups, and even on loose scree and gravel, you feel way more confident than you have any right to. The lug pattern is really aggressive too, so it bites into soft surfaces like mud and loose dirt really well. What makes this shoe special for technical terrain is the overall construction. The upper uses this TPU film overlay system that protects your feet from rocks and roots without adding a ton of weight. The midsole is on the firmer side, which means you really feel the ground beneath you. Some people love this connection and precision, while others might find it a bit harsh on longer, less technical runs. The toe box is more European narrow compared to something like the Altra, so if you've got wider feet, definitely try before you buy. But for $160, if you're regularly running on terrain that would challenge a mountain goat, the Bushido 3 is honestly in a class of its own. It's like having a precision instrument instead of just a shoe. And here we are at number 1, the Salomon S Lab Ultra 3, and at $200, this is definitely the most expensive shoe on our list. But hear me out, because I think it's worth every penny. This shoe represents basically everything Salomon has learned about trail running over the past few decades, packed into one incredibly well-engineered package. The S/Lab line is their premium racing series, and you can feel that attention to detail the moment you put these on your feet. What makes the Ultra 3 special is how it somehow manages to be great at everything without really compromising anywhere. The energy foam midsole gives you this perfect balance of cushioning and responsiveness. It's plush enough for long distances, but firm enough that you're not losing energy on climbs or technical sections. The Contagrip MA outsole is absolutely phenomenal across different terrain types. Whether you're on hardpack, loose dirt, wet rocks, or even some light scrambling, the traction is consistently excellent. The lug pattern is designed with these different zones that optimize grip for both uphill and downhill running. The upper construction is where you really see that $200 price tag justified. It uses this single-layer mesh that's incredibly lightweight and breathable, but they've reinforced it in all the right places with TPU overlays. The fit is just dialed. It's snug where it needs to be for precision, but roomy enough in the toe box that you're not going to lose toenails on long descents. The quick lace system is bomber and super convenient for race situations or when you're adjusting fit on the go. Honestly, the only downside is the price. At $200, it's definitely an investment. But if you're serious about trail running and you want one shoe that can handle everything from 5K trail races to 100-mile ultras, from smooth flow trails to technical alpine terrain, the S/Lab Ultra 3 is as close to perfect as I've found. It's like having a Swiss Army knife for your feet.